You get your oracle deck. See what benevolent archetypes are working with us today. What energy and messages they have. Scarab. Spiritual transformation. So in light of recent events that you have experienced in this life, within this past week, within this past month, within this past year, whatever resonates with you, the scarab in ancient Egypt represented an aspect of the deity, the Neteru, or the Neter, the force of nature, known as Re. Re represented the sun. Re represents the sun. The sun represents life, life giver. The sun represents power, represents strength, represents awareness, represents knowledge, represents truth, and so much more. Right? It's solar energy. It's active, willpower, centered in the heart, or if you have a higher mind, centered in the mind as well. Every star in the sky, aside from the planets, is a sun. Now, with that being said, the scarab was an aspect with a physical manifestation or animal, insect, representing an aspect of Re, the solar deity, known as Skepere. Skepere was considered the morning sun, the dawn of a new day. Okay? Skepere was considered the morning sun, dawn of a new day, the Lord of transformation. So, seeing this scarab card pulled out, we can see that Skepere, the Lord of transformation, that aspect of solar awareness, that aspect of sun, willpower, we've been transforming. What we've been going through, some of the stuff you've been going through may have seemed intense, hard, difficult, painful, right? The dung beetle is what this scarab is. It rolls dung, right? It rolls dung into a ball. And then it lays its eggs in that ball and new life comes out of it. So out of the shit, out of the mire, out of the deepest, darkest, heaviest parts of reality and life experiences lead to spiritual transformation. So you might feel like what you've been going through has been seeming pointless at times. You might feel like what you've been going through has been pointless. Like, God, why am I going through this? Why are you putting me through this? What is up with this? Or why are you allowing the devil to put me through this? It don't seem fair. You know what I'm saying? But see, God has a plan. The Lord has a plan. Ray has a plan. Okay? And that's to serve the purpose of your spiritual evolution, your spiritual transformation, that you may become the best version of yourself. None of us are perfect, right? None of us are perfect. So we're always and constantly learning how to become better versions of ourselves and to manifest that solar light and awareness. So what situations have you been dealing with, nameless, to where you've been put through this intense process? Like, you know what I mean? Think about the process of digestion and how intense it is for the nutrients in the food that get processed by all them acids compressed, right? Within the process of digestion and then released. And how sometimes painful that can be. Then you got this life form, this scarab beetle that takes that, what comes out of that, and generates new life out of it, right? The dung is like the darkest parts of consciousness, right? The darkest parts of consciousness. We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, okay? We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, right? So this period of juggling people, places, things, situations in a way that was not conducive to you being balanced is over, right? That spiritual transformation, right? What you have transformed is learning how to take yourself and put yourself first, because you have to survive. Them scarabs got to do what they got to do in order to survive. You've had to go through these intense processes and these hard situations in life that you may survive, right? That you might become a better version of yourself, that you might become the highest form of yourself. and embody that solar light and awareness. So you may have been in a relationship, you may have had a job, you may have had friendships, you may have been in situations where your resources were limited, your physical resources were limited, or naturally, right? It's all limited, right? Because that's what resources are. They can be exhausted. And you were trying to balance these things out between yourself and another person, or between your job and your passions, or between your job and your side business, or between this friendship and that friendship, or between yourself and your meditations and your spiritual work, with all these other mundane obligations that you have. And that period of having to juggle those things is coming to an end. It has come to the end. And that's been a part of your spiritual transformation. That must have been an intense period where you dealt with a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration. You feel what I'm saying? Dealing with a lot of frustration. And it was intense. You can see the anxiety there with all that red. You can see the passion there with all that red. This was a very frustrating period for you, right? A period that resulted in arguments, in angry moments, trying to please somebody else and trying to please yourself, with nobody getting pleased and nobody being satisfied, right? Your heart divided, with that chest being two different colors, being torn in two different places. You almost felt like a clown, like you was at a circus, trying to please all these different people at the job. You feel what I'm saying? In these relationships, at home, in your community, your neighborhood. And you was getting played, right? So going through that period of that juggling and feeling played and feeling misjudged and, you know what I mean, misunderstood, that period is over. But going through that and the knowledge you acquired from those experiences have led you to a spiritual transformation, right? What else going on with this situation? Tell us more about, you know what I'm saying, Skepere, Lord of Transformation, benevolence. Okay, hold on. So, the cards that just came out. Feel me? Okay, so Skepere, Lord of Transformation, that aspect of our consciousness that knows and longs for us to become the best version of ourselves, that knows beyond what we know on a conscious level, that taps into the unconscious, that taps into the deepest aspect of our life experiences and knows what it can bring out of us to become the best version of ourselves and become aware of all the aspects of ourselves that we need to work on. Tell us more about this juggling situation. Tell us more about what this spiritual transformation means or look like. Ooh, okay. So what we got that came out was the Five of Swords in reverse, right? So you were dealing with a period where there was conflict, mental games being played. You feel me? Where there was trickery and deceit and pettiness happening in the workplace, in your relationships, okay? But that period is over, you feel me? And there's people in this background who was probably laughing when they seen you juggling and doing all that stuff, walking away. Or maybe it's you walking away from the person playing the pettiness and all the games. A mix of both, a little tit for tat from the people, from the environment. But what we see here is an end to that cycle. So with this spiritual transformation, you've put an end to the juggling. You've put an end to the pettiness. You put an end to this toxic cycle in the workplace, in your relationships. So you're not playing games with people anymore. You're not playing mental mind games with people anymore, right? You're not juggling, okay? You're making yourself a priority now, which you weren't doing before. You were so busy trying to please other people, okay? You were so busy trying to please other people that your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual resources were exhausted. And that resulted in this tit for tat, you know what I mean, on top of the mental games. You dealing with that on top of trying to juggle. So you've put an end to this cycle. And this is a big transformation for you in your life and your consciousness. You've been living like this your whole life. Letting people play mental games with you. Trying to be a humble person. Trying to juggle things and not balance out your resources. So as a result, As a result, you have to struggle unnecessarily. You have to emotionally suffer unnecessarily, mentally suffer unnecessarily. But what's happening here is there's some type of thing going on in your subconscious mind, in the physical reality, where these things are coming to a balance again, and those situations are ending. You're walking away from relationships that don't serve you anymore. Walking away from people, places, things, jobs that aren't serving you becoming the best version of yourself. You may have gotten fired, you may have quit, you may have walked away, you might have broke up with somebody may have broke up with you. But it served the purpose of that spiritual transformation. You learned something from those situations. Okay, what else we got going on? Whoever it is you was dealing with, though, they played a lot of games, a lot of mind games. And it was hard to keep up with. But what you also was able to do was be intellectually sharp and read and discern what they were up to. Sometimes, right? Because you have to learn from these experiences and see how people operate in this life and this incarnation. Okay, so we walking away from these situations that, you know what I'm saying, involved a lot of mind games, mental games, pettiness, back and forth, tit for tat. Right? You could have been dealing with somebody that's immature. There could have been aspects of yourself that were immature. And this situation taught you to grow up in those areas and taught this person or these people how to grow up in those areas. You could have been dealing with a third party situation where somebody was choosing other people over you and you like, you know, just all y'all get the fuck away from me with that energy. You feel me? The juggling energy, you have to cut that out your life. You could have been a person dabbling in third party situations. You have to realize that that's not the honorable way to move when you're in a relationship or when you're dealing with people. Rather be just direct, one-on-one with the person you're dealing with, right? Communicating directly to them. You dealt with a lot of backstabbing, people talking behind your back at the workplace, in that relationship, in those friendships, right? But you put those swords down. No more of them games. Lord of transformation, Skepit Ray, aspect of consciousness in regards to the development of the soul and the strengthening of the spirit. What other situations was Nameless dealing with? What other situation was the Nameless collective dealing with? I call the collective on this channel Nameless because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? This reading is reflecting multiple people's consciousness, right? Some of it you resonate with, some of it you might not, right? But I say nameless because, like, you know, might not know your name personally, but it's not about that, right? It's about our being, our connection and consciousness, sharing similar experiences and the wisdom obtained and what the insights from these cards can tell us, right? What the benevolent forces of nature, the archetypes have to share with us, right? And we got the Lover's card. Face up, right? So indeed, you was dealing with a lover situation, right? Trying to juggle your emotions and somebody else's emotions. You feel me? Right? And this relationship you were in, it taught you a lot through all the pain, through all the bullshit, right? With the scarab, with the dung beetle, right? But it taught you how to properly love. What's love and what's not love. What loves look like in action and what it doesn't look like. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so this relationship showed you that. It also taught you how to love yourself. The masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. Your intuition. Your intellectual knowledge. Your sexual energy. Your passion and creativity. Right? And you went through a lot in this relationship. You and this person had to climb a mountain. But what you also learned is choosing faith over fear. Because fear got in the way of a lot in this relationship with the juggling aspect. So you was juggling between faith and fear from your previous traumas. The person you was with was juggling between faith and fear, right? One or both of you operated in fear at times, right? And that caused the conflicts like this, the tit for tat, dealing with traumas, reflecting on things and applying them to that relationship when it had nothing to do with that relationship. It was being stuck in the past. So you was juggling the present moment with the past, and that kept you trapped in your mind and your head, kept both of y'all. Same for the relationships. Bringing things from the past into your relationship, right? So now with this spiritual transformation, you've learned how to heal from your past and not bring them into your relationships, right? You also learned a lot about faith and picking faith over fear in relationships and how that can lead to progress, because remember the scriptures say faith can move mountains. You feel me? Just the faith of a mustard seed. But what also happened in a relationship, you was juggling between the relationship had positive, good forces within it and negative forces. Either one or both of you was operating in times with the benevolent archetypes or negative archetypes. You feel me? And there was points where someone, right, listened to the serpent, listened to the snake, listened to the devil and fell into temptation, deceit, illusions, trickery, right? With these five of swords right here. And that caused a vicious cycle where you had a war between archetypes, a war between the positive and the negative. Someone was really into dark energy, someone was into light energy, or maybe both. What card just fell out? We got the Ace of Pentacles. So with this spiritual transformation, we get rid of that juggling aspect. God, the universe, Skepere, the Lord of transformation, is offering you peace now that you ended this juggling cycle. Is offering you wealth and abundance now that you ended this juggling cycle. Offering a new beginning. It could be with the lover you were with before or with the new lover. You feel me? Right? Cutting into this cycles because cutting into the relationship, or it could be a new beginning in some form, or it's just a new beginning for each individual involved, even if they're not together, even if y'all don't get back together. But that spiritual transformation, it's like this sun, Skepere, the Lord of transformation, solar awareness, offering this new state of awareness to you that you can embody in your physical body, that you can embody through your actions. You feel what I'm saying? With this transformation of mindset. You feel me? Straight up, right? So taking them negative experiences, reflecting on them and transforming something better. You got the angel in the background, the benevolent force, right? That's that Lord of transformation. God has a plan. You even see the sun on the top of that angel head. You feel me? That solar disc. For the development and evolution of your consciousness in relationship to all things, but especially in relationship to love, you have to learn how to love yourself, because remember, you have to cut out the juggling. You have to learn to put yourself first with this Ace of Pentacles. You feel what I'm saying? On top of the Two of Pentacles. With the lovers on top of this spiritual transformation, Skepere, Lord of transformation. You have to learn real love. Either the hard way or the easy way. You feel me? Let's get one more card from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. What other areas of spiritual transformation have we experienced as a nameless collective experience within the midst of these circumstances recently? And then look, we got another card in reverse. We got the Three of Pentacles. That's the end of third party situations. Once again, you know that love is between the two. Not letting anything come between. Because what happens is you get the third parties involved. We see multiple third party situations, man. Multiple third party situations with the Three of Pentacles coming on top of the Five of Swords. Cutting into the third party cycles. You can't do that in love no more. You can't let nobody cheat on you, talk behind your back, betray you, trick you up or trip you up by deceiving you and creating illusions. Watching you work but not contributing with this Two of Pentacles. When you see the Three of Pentacles, you see the people watching while this person is building. You feel me? And it's not conducive to that real potent energy, because that means only one person is working while the others is judging, criticizing. That's an unhealthy relationship. You could have been dealing with a narcissist, even with this person working on that structure of an image of somebody. You know, you building up your self-image. Or the narcissist, you know what I'm saying, and the third parties using you to build up their self-image. You feel me? Or, you feel me, creating an illusion. The narcissist building something, an idea of they self, their ego, that's not accurate in reflection what they actually contributing to the relationship. Okay? So we're going to pull one more tarot card, not from the Rider-Waite. We're going to pull it from the Egyptian tarot deck. Okay? Let's see what we get. The deck upside down. No, it's not. So we got the Hangman in reverse. You're not waiting around no more for somebody to love you. You're not waiting around no more for people to change. So you have to offer up something that's precious and close to your heart. You feel what I'm saying? A relationship, situation, a job, a way of thinking, a way of being. You have to sacrifice that and offer it up so that you can actually transform with the spiritual transformation. And see, the thing is, a lot of what the Beatles was rolling up, a lot of it's cow doo-doo. You feel what I'm saying? So that's crazy this car came out on a hangman, because the spiritual transformation is here. You ain't waiting on it no more. But what you also have with this love situation, it could have put you in a hangman state, in a jeopardized position, where your social reality is compromised, your legal situation is compromised. You feel me? Where they might have sacrificed you, sacrificed your life, sacrificed your love, sacrificed your well-being for the sake of pleasing third parties. But the Lord of Transformation is offering you a new beginning, because you're moving different on this earth and moving different in this realm. Okay? So we're going to get an oracle card. We're going to get an oracle card today from the Starseed Oracle again. And we might get one more oracle card before we peace out. Information we got here. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Right? So now you can breathe. You was in a relationship or in that job situation or in those friendships where people was micromanaging you, observing everything you doing with this 3 of Pentacles, with this 5 of Swords, with this 2 of Pentacles. You feel what I'm saying? And micromanage you, that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. But by cutting off these cycles and letting those things go, you feel me? Letting relationships go, the way of being in relationships, letting a job go or changing how you move there, you feel me? Now you get to breathe. And trusting in God, trusting in the universe, trusting in the Lord of Transformation, you're able to breathe again and let go of all that anxiety. And what you also have to do, as within, so without. So you are also micromanaging the universe, trying to say, well, this ain't like this, my life ain't like this situation ain't like that. And you trying to make it be a certain way rather than letting it be what it is. And trusting in God's will and trusting that there's a purpose to it all. And the purpose was this spiritual transformation. You see that now. So you can relax and trust that it will work out for your good and in a higher favor. In your higher favor for the highest good. Right? Because even when the Messiah was getting crucified, that was a scary, daunting task. He knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to get sacrificed with this hangman energy. He knew he was going to get sacrificed. Feel me? But he said, Father, not my will, but let thy will be done. So I'm talking to the Lord of Transformation, that higher aspect of consciousness that can see where I'll go in life. Nameless, that can see where you will go in life. And it's telling you, trust in me. I know what I'm doing. We got to tell our Father in heaven, feel me? Not my will, but thy will be done. Because God knows what's best for us. In all these situations, as hard as they've been, as hard as they've seen as dark, is leading to our spiritual evolution, to our spiritual transformation. Feel me? Okay, we're going to pull a card from the Marvel Magic. The Magic of Marvel Oracle deck, because I feel somebody needs some encouragement from, like, you know what I mean, a hero that got to fight in this battle, because this is like a form of spiritual warfare, these situations, and fighting and dealing with different archetypes in relationships and situations, right? She-Hulk, do the right thing, even if no one is watching. There was a lot of deception in that relationship, a lot of deception in that job. At times, you found yourself pulled into that cycle with the 5 of Swords. Not wanting to tell the truth because you don't want to offend that person, or not telling the truth because it will trigger them. But no, telling the truth is doing the right thing. Moving right is doing the right thing, and you can't operate in fear. She-Hulk don't operate in fear. Fear is strength, strong, power. You got to be strong through these times. You feel me? Your faith got to be strong through these times. Trusting. She-Hulk goes through a transformation from all them gamma rays. That's cosmic energy. You absorbing all this cosmic energy from the solar rays, from the cosmos. And then when you trust in that will, instead of micromanaging at first, the gamma rays seem bad. hurtful, painful, but it caused somebody to transform into one of the most powerful, strongest beings on the earth. And that's what this relationship, most painful experiences you've had, most toxic environments you've ever worked in have led you to becoming one of the strongest individuals, one of the strongest souls on the planet. And that's what the spiritual transformation led by the Lord of Transformation, Skepere, has led to. All right, Nameless, that's it. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tapping in. It's Nameless Light Tarot. I'm out.